Hello everyone, I'm Chester44, also known as Fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire. Last episode, we got our ship back and got it repaired. Somewhat. It looks like things are going on here. Also, we got stopped by, Pirate King, I guess I could say, who basically said, yeah, we know who attacked your ship. I don't approve of him. So, here's where you can probably find him. Go take care of him for me. By the way, here's my ship hunter. He's on your crew now. Have fun. So, we also have a new companion, who we will need to, investigate. Seraphin, a cipher. I haven't really used ciphers much. I know they're kind of like some kind of mage. Something like that. They use two weapons, it looks like. Chance for random wild surge effect on Cypher spellcast. He uses battle axes, blunderbuss, and pistols. Okay, good to know. Let's see. Seraphin supports the pirates of the Principe San Patrena and dislikes those who act against them. Appreciates people who use lies, deception, and general chicanery to get their way. Appreciates jokes and levity in life, even in the darkest of circumstances. Passionate person who responds well to people with similarly strong emotions. Appreciates a cosmopolitan lifestyle and outlook. And takes a dim view of racist comments and attitudes. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's see. Inventory here. So you have a blunderbuss in one hand and a battle axe in the other. Hand mortar, which has explosive shot, deals basic attacks deal best of pierce or slash damage and a small AoE. Okay, interesting. That is a weapon, and he's also got a battle axe and a pair of pistols. And he's wearing Seraphin's padded mail. Well, I don't think I really have anything else I can give him at the moment. Yeah, it's just padded mail. Which is medium armor. Honestly, we can just leave him with what he's got. Okay, then. Well, let's make our way over to the dock. We'll settle in, get what we need, and then we'll take a look at the ship and see about talking to him. And I think we can go to the Kraken's Eye. Because we can probably hire people there. And it did say you can hire crew here. That said, now we can actually probably look at the ship itself. Yep, there we go. Ship UI. There are several jobs on the ship that the crew needs to fill while sailing. Every ship needs deckhands, cannoneers, and a helmsman, and all ships benefit from having a cook, surgeon, and navigator on board. The larger ships even require a boatswain to keep the deckhands in order. To place a new sailor onto the ship, you must be in a port. Click an available sailor from the known sailors section, and move them to an open role on the ship. Note that each sailor has different talents. Not all sailors will be well suited for a given job. Filter through the known sailor job types to see who excels in each role. Your crew consumes both food and drink while adventuring. The type of food and drink you feed them will adjust their morale. More expensive provisions make them happier. Cheap food and drink will lower their morale over time. Even so, few things will impact your crew's morale as badly as letting them starve. A starving crew with low morale mean mutiny. If neglected for long enough, some may even die. There are several jobs on a ship. The captain determines how likely the ship is to gain advantage, first move, and other bonuses in ship-to-ship combat. Deckhands are required to perform any maneuvers in ship-to-ship combat. If a ship does not have enough deckhands, it will move more slowly on the world map. The more skilled deckhands a ship has, the faster it will move in combat. The boatswain counts as a deckhand, but is more important for their ability to accelerate the completion of special events, such as putting out a deck fire on the ship by coordinating their actions. A helmsman is required for turning and jibe actions in ship-to-ship combat. More experienced helmsmen make the ship harder to hit after performing turn and jibe actions. Cannons cannot fire without a cannoneer assigned to them. The more experienced a cannoneer, the more accurate their fire. The Surgeon increases the rate of healing for injured crew members in reserve, both in combat and while traveling. 2 jobs have no combat roles, but may be called upon to resolve ship events. The Navigator increases speed on the world map, and the Cook reduces food consumption while traveling. Okay. So, currently, we have Linen Sails, the Watcher of Deerwood Colors, Carvel Hull, Standard Helm, Standard Lantern, Standard Anchor. I am the one in charge. Irena is the cook, but is injured for a couple days. Beodil is a helmsman. Eld Engrim is a cannoneer, and is the cannoneer. And Chitopek is the deckhand. Well, we can swap out the scavenger's lanterns, so that's an improvement at least. We should probably put all of our food in. Everything, food-wise, will go in. Anything that gives morale is probably going to go higher. So that's 3. Aged shark meat, yep, go that. That goes in there. Cup of tea, okay, that's higher. 3 for the food. Okay, that I'm gonna hold on to, because that's for something else. But now we have alcohol. Water is basically gonna be a last guess. A last thing. Fresh fruit. Silverfin. Pork. Poultry. And a palm stone. And I should probably put this ale in over here as well. Okay, that makes sense. We don't have any crew, so we're gonna need to find some. Oh! But first, we have level ups. Let's start with me. Ah, we have someone who has mechanics. Good. Means I might be able to swap out the mechanics that I have here. Actually, oh, I can't. Oh, no, I can. Yes, cancel that for a moment. Let me look at your mechanics. Your mechanics is 4, and I'm going to work on getting that higher. Without a doubt. Okay, then. So, if that's mechanics, I've got a bit that can boost things up a bit, so that'll help. How about I give you a boost to athletics? That'll be fine, I think. As for this, diplomacy, definitely. I want to get diplomacy as high as I can. Ability selection. We've got rank 3, so let's see. I can improve the rapid recovery. That's actually a good thing to have. Fortitude defense, reflex defense, 1 additional engagement, concentration, and will defense. I've also got strikes their target with devastating force, granting significant additional penetration during the attack. A powerful attack that knocks enemies into the air and then prone, leaving them disoriented. And then these 2 for disciplined strikes, which I don't care as much about. That said, being able to kick them not just onto the ground, but also kicking them up into the air, thus leaving them disoriented. Lower penetration considered flanked and have higher recovery. That's actually pretty good. I'll go ahead with that. And that's all I get there. Okay, that works. Adair, you are going to take athletics and survival. You are also going to take rapid recovery, and I think the mule kick will also be hilarious. Jyoti! Go ahead with alchemy and religion. Okay, so we now have the next level of spells. We've got Fortitude, Snakes, Reflexes, Will Defense, and what is Concentration again? Protect someone from being interrupted. That'll be useful. Spell-wise, though. Naturally, you get Vile Thorn. Shoots sharp-thorned brambles at nearby enemies, causing pierce damage and sickening anyone in the area of effect. Grants ally the Smart Inspiration, so that's probably an intelligence boost. Magical Seal that explodes in electrical energy when someone comes close. Okay. Releasing a healing effect when allies are near death. Could be useful. Strengthens allies in battle, granting them Aware, which is grazes converted to hits and extra perception. Consecrated ground. Yes. Divine Mark inflicts burn damage and lowers deflection. And let's see. Enemies in the area of effect have lower melee accuracy and downgrades critical hits to regular hits. So it's a debuff. Bane, effectively. This one burns someone and means they'll be taking more damage, which is an interesting idea. Aware is interesting. But we do already have Bless. Bless is just insightful, which is higher perception. So Dire Blessing is actually more useful in combat because of the grazes converted to hits thing. I'll go with that one. And finally, Aloth. So, you have Arcana. And I suppose you could take Metaphysics. So, I believe we can take any two spells and he'd always have them regardless of the book. He has one-handed weapon, so that's that. An additional weapon set. Okay. So that's what we have there. I don't know what happens if you take a spell a second time, but he does have Minnaletta's minor missiles, and now he'll have bounding missiles, which is a very good thing to have. I think doing that gives him a free shot of it, plus he can use it no matter what. Exposed Vulnerabilities is actually a very good one. Interrupts, reduces armor rating and deflection. I mean, it's a very good one. Bounding Missiles and extra one would be good. Fireball would also be good to have to take care of groups. I kind of want to take that. Okay, he has Necrotic Lance. There are a lot of spells I haven't really looked at. Ray of Fire? Yeah, that would hit allies. Combusting Wounds. Actually, Combusting Wounds and Exposed Vulnerabilities are both good spells. Miasma of Dull-Mindedness, not the most interesting. And Slicken, which is basically... Oh no, he doesn't have that. He has Spirit Shield. Well, Exposed Vulnerabilities and Fireball will be good spells to have. Always worth it to have a Fireball. That would have been very good in that... Oh, he did have Rolling Flame. He could have used that to set off those explosives. Well, too late now. Okay. And there we go. So. Thoril.
Have you ever seen anyone cast like that?
Still kicking, eh? What'll it be?
Like to hire some
There's
crew
plenty of
members.
people looking for passage.
Okay, so we've got Little Lekua, Aura the Mad, Vanitzi, Shield Sister Dahlia, Ikuk, Hema, Kriath, Tilla, and Doru. You three are all masters. I think this is what we get from that bonus that I took at the beginning. Which would give us Navigator, Helmsman, Deckhand, Surgeon, Cannoneer, Cook. Which don't seem like bad things to have, so I'm gonna hire you 3 on. There we go. Hire 5 crew members. Now, let me see about putting them on. So, you're a Master Navigator. You're a cook. We've got 2 deckhands. You're also a surgeon. And I do think we need a surgeon more. So you can be our Master Surgeon. And you're a Cannoneer and a cook. I feel like, well, we don't really have a second Cannoneer. And I guess you can be our Helmsman. So, I think if I can find one more deckhand, I'll be satisfied.
Sure. A weather
Still
mage is a
kicking, eh?
useful person to have.
Let me
What'll it
see.
be?
Hire some
Plenty
crew
of people.
members. Do we have another deckhand? Little Lekua is a novice deckhand. Or the Mad is as well? Malicious. Ugh, I don't like that. Fearless. Shield Sister Dahlia. I think that could actually work out. I'll hire you. Let's see. Yep, you're in the deckhand, and we have people on all of them. And we got 3 resting crew. I think we need someone resting in order to do that, so... One of you is a surgeon, aren't you? You are a surgeon. Yeah, you're the surgeon. We need a cook. Doru, you're gonna be a cook for a bit, while you're resting to regain your health. Yep, 50% heal rate when resting. So we got 1 person, so we only have 1 cannoneer, that's fine. And we got cannons on the right side, pity we don't have more.
But to tame a storm? That one a woman
Still kicking,
frightened-
eh?
Is there any way I can buy more?
Have a look.
No, you don't have that. I mean, we could rest. Yeah, we're fine, we're rested. We can only have 5 people in our party? Ugh, I don't like that. Alright, but I think we can buy more resources outside in the harbor. I think there's a merchant up here.
And when the next storm hits, fresh fish.
No, you're the fisherman. I think... Alteria, you, I believe, sells...
We have supplies here. Have a look.
Yes, you sell supplies for the ship. But you do not sell more cannons. That is very unfortunate. Refilling ship supplies does cost a lot. Ugh, that is a lot. Well, we can buy at least a little bit. We can refill that, I suppose, so go ahead. That'll cost some money, but we can afford it. Purchase supplies for my ship. Done and done. Alright. Well, we have our tasks there.
Race you to the coral.
No contest.
What? Just because you have webbed fingers and I can't swim? You are
Now,
a
I believe we can get out of here. Can leave via ship. I think we'll be able to talk on the ship. By the way, Seraphin, so you have Tenuous Grasp, Shaken and Confuse, shocks the target's visual receptors, blinding them and nearby enemies with Eye Strike. Okay. You have co-ops the target's essence, generating a slashing blade of force that attacks them before leaping to additional targets. Interesting. Causes the target to relive the psychic trauma of an injury moments after receiving it, experiencing the damage all over again. Okay. And you have Soul Ignition. Okay.
Captain.
We'll chat to people when we get back onto the ship, I think. Because I think if we're on the ship, we can actually talk to people. I think we can rest on the ship. Leave via sea. Also, we now have the map. So we have Harbinger's Watch. It's a DLC area. Fort Deadlight's right over there. I don't know what... Oh, Dunnage is where we go after Fort Deadlight. And there's Nekataka. I think Nekataka is where we need to go first. We need to get up there so that we can actually, you know, find out where the main goal is and have a main city that we can go back to. Plus, we'll probably find more companions. So, Nekataka will be where we're headed. Is there a way? Ship management. Rest or wait. Options. I could have sworn there was a way to actually walk around on the deck of the boat. Maybe I was wrong. I could have sworn that was a thing. Fine then. We'll sail to Nekataka, and when we arrive, we'll be talking to our companions. Interestingly, it looks like we can actually land on this island. So sure, we can land here, see what we see. Which is some fruit, and looks like we can get some water as well. Yep, fruit and water. I mean, hey, that's something. Sea navigation. Click on the known locations drop-down list to bring up a list of places you have discovered. You can also search for a location by name. Ships travel faster in deep water, slower in shallows. The Huaro. You're sailing out past a reef when Shield Sister Dahlia shouts out, pointing to port. There lists a ship stranded in the middle, perched on a narrow shoal. It tips and rolls with the passing waves. Hanging from the mast is a blue flag showing an image of a crescent moon sinking beneath the waves. Your crew gathers around, murmuring in low, excited voices. Eldengrim rushes to the railing. Captain, that's a gift-bearer ship. No telling what sorts of treasures it's got. Doru snorts. Gift-bearers carry sentimental junk. Worthless stuff. No, that's a smuggler's ship. It's a classic disguise. Chittipek spits into the water. Then it's a fucking stupid one. Gift-bearers only visit landlocked settlements. That's a trap. What was that about the gift-bearers, Doru? Doru fixes a pensive frown on the wreck. No offense, Captain, but the servants of Ondra collect things people want to forget and consign them to the sea. Anything gift-bearers might be carrying would be stuff nobody wants. Thoughts? Thoughts, Adair? With a shake of the head, Adair frowns and says nothing. My sickle cuts through smugglers just as easy as any kith. Easier, maybe. Licking her bottom lip, Jody studies the seemingly stranded vessel. As for you, Aloth? Aloth rubs his chin. I've heard rumor that some gift-bearers operate as smugglers on the side. I suppose it's possible they're carrying something of value. And Seraphin? Ain't a trap, Captain. Ship be too smashed to shit for that. Might be too smashed to shit for salvage, too. Seraphin scratches the back of his head as he peers at the vessel. Well, prepare a skiff. We'll have to row out and climb the hull. You row the skiff above the reefs, the waves tossing at the bottom of the small boat, occasionally scraping across the jagged structure below. You tie off on a snag of coral next to the wreck. The water is rough and the hull is slick with brine, but you're able to find purchase between the shifting planks. We'll climb up. You row the skiff above the reefs, the waves tossing it, the bottom of the small boat occasionally scraping across the jagged structure below. You tie off on a snag of coral next to the wreck. The water is rough and the hull slick with brine, but you're able to find purchase between the shifting planks. You pull yourself up, using bent planks and barnacles for holds. You've almost reached the main deck when a wave slams against the ship. You hear a crash from somewhere below as the vessel rocks. Your legs slip out from under you and your fingers dig into wet lumber. Your grip holds. Once the ship settles, you resume your climb and make it to the safety of the deck. The ship is deserted. You don't even find corpses. If the ship had a skiff too, it's missing. Search for salvage. You find several crates of supplies and several more of assorted odds and ends. Handkerchiefs, bead jewelry, cracked scrimshaw, a child's doll. Gain ammunition and medicine. You think back to Doru's comments and wonder if this might have been a smuggler's vessel after all. Search for evidence of smugglers. Looks like I'm best at this. Somehow I have 4 streetwise. You slide a crate of junk aside and find a trapdoor underneath. Within rests a small chest brimming with golden skellings. Hey, 23 gold. Among the coins rests a small figurine of an imp of all things. Laughing Imp cameo. Uses 1 per rest to summon brine imps. You load your find onto the skiff and row back to your ship. Crew earned a 99 experience. Alright, pretty nice. Well, let's keep heading up. Oh.
The ring of a bell comes to you on a cold wind. The ring comes again and again, until soon the air is full with the sound of 1,000 bells ringing all at once. You are alone. And then, you are not.
Oh.
An indistinct figure stands before you, flickering between forms like a fire-cast shadow. A fixed, taunting grin. Bottomless black eyes. A yawning chasm in the earth. The aspects of Berith, the Usher and the Pallid Knight, shift in and out of focus. And at their back, 4 indistinct shades hover. You feel an eternity stretch out behind each of them, reaching back to places so distant and yet so near you cannot comprehend their size. The shifting image of Berith settles on the aspect of the Pallid Knight.
So the gods wish to speak with me.
Watcher.
Her voice is the discordant clangor of gongs struck out of time.
I tasked you to discover Aethys's intentions. Tell me what you have learned.
He's draining souls from veins of luminous Adra.
The Pallid Knight knits her brows.
He does not seek to return to the Beyond? Intriguing.
Her sickly pale skin pulls tight across the bones of her face, as if the shell of this aspect does not quite fit the impossible creature it contains. The figure nearest Berith dissolves and reforms in the image of a thin-lipped, ancient crone, whose face has felt the melting kiss of fire. The goddess Wodika strides forward.
Goddess of justice, law, oaths, promises, rulership, vengeance, memory, and hierarchies.
Does Aethys frighten you, Berith? He should. Magran subdued Aethys's influence once before, and yet he returned.
From out of Wodika's shadow shuffles a hunched, bald man you recognize as the god Scan. His skin is mapped with swollen lash scars, and breath whistles through the ragged hole in his face, where his nose once was.
Defiance, violent rebellion, secret hatred, covert plots, resentment, and envy.
He does not speak, but stares up at Wodika, with naked loathing plain on his ruined face. Wodika steeples her long, knob-jointed fingers.
We must annihilate Aethys now, before he makes a rash decision we cannot easily annul.
She casts a sly look at the Pallid Knight from the corners of her eyes.
A moon would do the job nicely.
Given her relationship with the moon, I doubt Andra would approve of that plan.
Wodika throws her head back and laughs. The sound is a dry, rasping bark.
Plus, I do remember the last time a moon was thrown at the planet in order to kill a god. We saw the end result of that. It destroyed a civilization.
Andra could do with a new act. Her current one has grown rather stale.
Where are the other gods, by the way?
They see to their own affairs. You will speak to them in time, should you have the need.
The figure beside the aspect of Bareth flows forward in a swirling cloud of ash. The ash falls to the tiles and reveals a molten-skinned woman, leaning on a monstrous, wicked-edged broadsword. Magran's glowing lips curl in disdain.
We must find a solution to the problem of Aethys that is neither do nothing, nor destroy the world.
Yes, I agree. I kind of like the world.
I acted in haste during the Saints' War. You will not goad me into doing the same now.
Yeah, we know about what happened with the, I can't remember what it was called, Magran's Hammer, or something like that. Point is, the old priest was involved in it.
To move against him while his plans are unknown would be the height of foolishness. We must find wisdom in precaution.
And what kind of precautions do you suggest?
Magran looks at you as one might a wayward gob of spit on one's shoe.
It is no business of yours what the gods decide.
Considering I'm the one who was brought in here to tell you what he's doing, and I have actually been summoned in order to do something about it, it is my business, thank you very much.
Another of the silent figures steps forward, and the warm, golden light of a summer's afternoon spills across your face.
Let's all take a deep, calming breath. Perhaps cooler heads will prevail.
Behind Helia's words, you hear the soft coo of doves.
Aethys has been separated from us for too long. Isn't it possible he intends only to gather enough souls to reclaim his realm in the beyond? He should be welcomed.
You look up then into avian eyes. Through them, you see clouds of starlings converge and divide.
And what if he intends to betray you?
Helia puts a feathered hand to her chest.
He wouldn't. Betrayal is not in his nature.
Scan shuffles forward.
Yes. We should welcome Aethys' return to the fold. His gratitude we can leverage to cajole him into divulging his plot. Then, when he believes himself to be in our good graces, we do as Wedeka suggests, and crush him into the earth.
What a fitting plan for the god of betrayal and covert plots.
Scan pauses, inspecting you.
And here is the Watcher who killed Lord Haran, the man who tormented his dear niece, Alice. Curious.
Scan licks the ragged edge of his lipless mouth and grins, then turns to Helia.
I did not expect such a deliciously ruthless idea from you, Helia. I am impressed.
Helia's feathered crest stands on end.
You wretched little creature.
I'm not going to say anything here.
The pallid knight gestures for silence.
Aethys cannot be killed, but he may be subdued. Yet to do so will take immense power and time. Both stand in his favor.
Magran grits her black glass teeth.
That is why we must ascertain his plans before he has the chance to put them into motion.
I agree.
She begins to pace. Her steps leave little trails of fire in her wake. Magran stops and balls her hands into flaming fists.
Even if we manage to destroy his current form, there is the possibility he could return, if he has not already absorbed all of his children.
Wait, absorbed his children? I don't understand that.
The pallid knight casts a cold, cutting glare in Magran's direction.
Magran speaks too freely. That knowledge is beyond your ken, Watcher.
Is it now?
Wodeka waves the gods to silence.
Aethys gathers strength. His strength is a threat to us.
Her voice takes on a sharp, almost panicked edge.
There is no sensible answer to the question of a resurgent Aethys other than decisive, final action.
I will say nothing here.
We will act when it is appropriate to do so, and not before.
The Pallid Knight steps away from the half-circle of assembled gods. She pulls herself up to a great height. The words she speaks next come not from her mouth, but from all around you.
Follow him, Watcher.
The black of the Pallid Knight's irises expand until her eyes are as dark and cold as the void between stars. She bends down and brings her ghostly face level with your own.
Your debt to me remains unpaid.
I'll do what I can.
She stares at you, unblinking. Like a needle drawn to a magnet, you are pulled toward her one compulsory step at a time. You blink open your eyes and find yourself on the floor of your ship's cabin. Alone.
Well, okay then. That happened. Embark. While on the deck of your ship, you can select that to access the world map. Well then, I am in my ship. I'll need to figure out how to access it from the world map. That said, I need to end this episode here because it's gone on long enough. Next episode, I believe we'll be exploring around the ship and seeing what we can find here. Till then, I am Chester44, also known as Fly. That is Laniara. This has been a Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire, and I shall see you all next time.